an open letter signed by dozens of Chinese entrepreneurs and investors. It calls for political reform in China and lists a number of fundamental social changes. Let's zoom in.
An anonymous open letter is circulating in China, stirring up debate. The letter was endorsed by dozens of entrepreneurs and investors, mainly from Shanghai. It says together they hold tens of billions of dollars of investment, but even businesses on this scale are struggling to protect themselves and survive in China's pandemic-stricken economy. They say the country's lockdown experience made them, quote, completely sober and helped them realize that the credibility of China's communist regime has already collapsed. So, facing predicted turmoil, they decided to speak up. In protest, they decided not to obey authorities' instructions to go back to normal productions post-lockdown, saying their companies will resume operations but not production. Frank Xie is a professor in business at University of South Carolina, Aiken. He explained it's hard for businesses to jumpstart production after 2 months under lockdown, especially because they're coping with broken supply chains. He added that the entrepreneur's strategy is in essence a strike.
We see that this is essentially the start of a general strike by the industrial sector, the business sector, the workers, the private capitalists, the people from all walks of life in Shanghai. In fact, they are calling for a longer social strike.
Xie said the entrepreneurs are protesting against the regime.
A government cannot recklessly close down such a large city, a city of more than 20 million and so many businesses in it, all of a sudden without any discussion and out of political reasons.
On top of disobedience in business, the letter also urges for political reform. The goal? To, quote, unshackle economic development from politics. To achieve it, the letter lists a number of fundamental social changes it says should be made, including giving residents permanent rights to their land. Right now, all land in China belongs to the Communist Party. People and businesses merely purchase the right to use the land, normally for a few dozen years. That includes land with residential housing as well as commercial space. The letter also calls for removing bans and on a multi-party governance system and private media platforms. Beyond that, it pushes to eliminate the privileged social class and the hukou system. That's the equivalent of an intra-provincial passport and a tool that makes China's 800 million farmers the target of discrimination. The privileged social class refers to high-level party officials and their families, who often receive special privileges and treatment.
The Shanghai industries use strikes to compel the Chinese Communist Party to carry out political reforms and force the CCP to step down from the stage of history. That is, in my opinion, a very positive approach to dismantle the CCP on the civilian level.
U.S.-based news service Radio Free Asia managed to contact several of the letter's authors. They say they'll continue to promote the letter's contents, but they requested they remain anonymous for security reasons.